Hello again, this is Mama Paula, and today we're going to be making stuffed peppers. So the first thing you're going to need 3 large peppers, whether they're red, green, yellow, orange, doesn't matter, whatever peppers you like. And then you're going to need a pound of ground beef. You're going to need a half of an onion chopped, okay? You're going to need a little Worcestershire sauce, about a teaspoon. And you're going to need some, you can do American cheese, you can do whatever cheese you like. I'm just doing some cheese ends that I got at the deli at Market Basket. So the first thing you want to do is I sliced off the top of the pepper, okay, of the peppers, okay. Now I'm going to take the insides out, and you want to get all those seeds out, okay. Okay, make sure you kind of go like this. And make sure you look inside, make sure there's no more seeds. And then what you want to do is you want to pop this green pepper into a pan of very hot water, okay? Because what you're going to do is you're kind of blanching that a little bit, all right? You're trying to get it cooked, say, half the way, okay? And then, so I'm going through my red peppers. Okay, we're trying to get all those seeds out. This is a long pepper, so the seeds are really in there at the bottom. Okay, I think I got a couple more to get out. Okay, and we'll put that one in. Kind of like fill it up with a little water in the pan. The pan has got water, so it comes up to the top of the pepper, that much water. Okay. All right, and that's the third pepper. Now, this is considered, stuffed pepper. Some people like to stuff the hamburger and the rice and the chopped up onion and peppers inside the pepper. What I do is I take a pan, I cut my peppers in half, and then I stuff it like that. So you don't need as many peppers if you do it that way. Okay? So I'm going to continue just chopping my onions and my pepper tops. And then we'll be back when it's time to stuff the peppers. Okay, so you're going to need a teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce. Make sure you stir. Make sure you shake your Worcestershire sauce, okay, before you pour it out into the hamburger, okay? And then let me show you what this looks like. It's so beautiful and colorful. This is the red, whoops. This is the red and the green peppers with the onion that I chopped up with my mother's knife she gave me, and I'm going to put that in with the hamburger and the Worcestershire sauce. Okay, and then I opened up a can of stewed tomatoes, and what I'm doing now is I'm putting the liquid that I don't need, okay? I opened the can all the way, and I'm using that can lid to squeeze the extra liquid that I don't need for this recipe into this bag. And what I'll do is, next time I need to make soup and I need to have a little tomato in it, I'll use this liquid for the soup. So you're not wasting. Oh. So really squishing it. You've got to really squish down on that lid in the center. It's amazing how much liquid is coming out of those stewed tomatoes. Look at that. That's quite a bit. You don't want to put that in this recipe, okay? You just want the stewed tomatoes, okay? Which is here. And what we're going to do is we're going to mix this up. Okay. And I also cooked a half a cup of white rice. And that half a cup of white rice has to go in this mixture too. So it's basically a half a cup of cooked rice, okay? Well, it was raw, so it's going to be, by the time we put it in here, it's going to be a cup of cooked rice. You know, you want to cook it al dente, like not all the way cooked, because these stuffed peppers are going in the oven. And it's going to cook some more there. So, remember, take that rice out a little bit early, okay? So, a half a cup of uncooked rice. And you know rice, it expands. All right? I want to show you what this looks like. Look at how pretty that is. All right, so I'm going to add my cooked rice, and then we'll come back, and it should be ready to put the mixture into the peppers. Also, you can use ground beef, you can use ground chicken, you can use ground pork, ground turkey with this recipe, or you can do plant-based if you want. So if you're a vegan, all right? So there's a lot of options to this recipe. So that half a cup of raw rice cooked al dente turned into almost 2 cups of cooked rice, okay? So we're going to add that to the pepper meat mixture with the cut up onions, the cut up pepper tops, okay, and the little teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce, and the can, it was a big can, I think it was a 28-ounce can of stewed tomatoes, but remember we took the liquid off there, put it in a freezer bag, and put it in the freezer to make some soup next time. So now that's all mixed. I took my peppers off the stove, okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it down the long side. So we're going to stuff the peppers. We're going to put them in the pans, okay, and they're like halfway done. So I'm going to show you what that looks like once I get them all cut. I told you those red peppers, there was some seeds down at the bottom. Well, I just got them out. Okay. So let me get rid of those. And I'm going to show you the peppers. Show you how I have them lined up in the pan. I have them lined up like this. Okay. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take a little sea salt and just sprinkle it in each pepper, okay? Now, you can put pepper also, you can sprinkle pepper in, but I'm not going to. My husband's not a big fan of pepper. So, now that this is mixed, we're going to stuff the peppers. Let's make sure you can see all this. Let's get all this stuff out of the way. Okay, so get a nice size spoon, okay? What you want to do is you want to really stuff it in there. You want a nice stuffed pepper, Okay? Really stuff it in there. Just like that. Okay, and we're going to stuff each one. And if you have any leftover mixture, what you can do is you can add an egg to that, and you can make little meatballs out of this if you have any extra. I don't want any extra, so I'm really stuffing these peppers. My husband really likes stuffed peppers. So, and he's the one that, you know, usually everything I make, it's like, oh, it's so good, honey. It's so wonderful. So he makes me want to, you know, be a better cook, you know, and cook things from scratch. Doesn't that look beautiful? So this is going really well. And we're really stuffing these peppers with all this goodness, right? Okay, that looks good. We've got one more to stuff. Okay. It's going good. And we're going to put this in the oven at 350 degrees. And we're going to cover that and let it cook. And let me see if I can fit this in. It's so stuffed. Now that's a stuffed pepper. Okay, so as you can see, I only have a little bit more mixture. So let me add it to the top. That's it. Oh, that worked out well. All right. So there you go. That's all the mixture. See? Took it all. You see this? See how beautiful that is? All right. Let me cover that. Okay. I'm going to put my oven on 350. And we're going to set that the middle rack. Okay? Okay. And we'll let that cook, and then we'll come back, and that's when we're going to add the cheese. Okay? You don't want to add it when you're cooking the meat and the peppers the rest of the way. You want to put it on when you uncover it, then you add all the cheese, and then you just leave it uncovered and it cooks the rest of the way. So, you know, the cheese gets nice and bubbly, and so, okay. Okay. I took the top of the peppers off of the pan, and I hope you can see these peppers, and there's enough juice at the bottom, okay? So they're not going to burn. I lowered the rack, the oven rack, to the second from the bottom, okay? Took the cover off. Now we're just going to add this cheese to the top. Let's just add all this cheese to the top of the, whoops, piece went in there. Let's grab that out. Ooh, that's hot. Let's use a little spoon to get that piece of cheese out of the bottom. All right. See if I can get that. All right. Oh, it's giving me a hard time. Okay, I got it. Okay, a piece of cheese. And so I want to add the rest of my cheese on the top of all the peppers. So you got American, we got some Munster here. Looks like a little Swiss. You know, whatever cheese you want, you put on the top. The typical recipe calls for just American. So do what you want. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop it back in the oven. It's going to be at 375 degrees, second rack to the bottom, for about, I'd say, a good 15 to 20 minutes. And then we'll be back to see. Hi. Okay, it's time to take those stuffed peppers out of the oven. It took about a half an hour at 375, and I ended up putting it on the bottom shelf because there was liquid in a pan enough. So see what we have. Okay, let's see. Let's use this. Okay, so this is what they look like. They're really beauties. And let me just grab one out. I'll grab this one out. It's right there. Doesn't that look beautiful? Oh, let's see what we have here. Let's get, okay. And let's get a knife. Okay, and let's try a little bit. Okay, let me see. Wow, this looks really good. So, just gonna cut a little piece. Okay, and we'll try this. Let's see how this tastes. Okay, see if we can get that all in. Okay, so this is the bite. That is really good. So, if you like this recipe, please subscribe. And until next time, this is Mama Paula.